Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Seint Artist. We're going to talk about Seint Makeup and dry skin. Does Seint Makeup work with dry skin? Yes. It's actually a lot easier to navigate dry to normal skin than oily skin, which is what I have, but I have worked with a lot of people with dry skin, and there are things that have worked tremendously. The longevity, the key I feel to dry skin and makeup is one, use a cream makeup, and two, use Seint's setting spray. It's incredibly hydrating. It's so good. So there's two ways we can start. You can get a primer, or you can just use setting spray. Isn't it nice to have one thing that does two? Yes, yes, the answer is yes. So you're gonna take your setting spray and you can spray your face first. So you just, if you're using Seint's setting spray, there's a secret. You gotta spray it up and let it fall. It comes out terribly. So you spray up, and you just let it fall on your face, or put it on a beauty blender, spray the beauty blender, and apply it that way. It's however you want to do it. I like both, none are wrong, but it's really hydrating. It helps things move on the skin. Let's get into the makeup. If you like a light coverage, use a fluffier brush. I really love this brush. It's great for, it's good for light to full coverage, and it comes in a bundle with the bronzer, saves you a couple bucks. I think it's $10 it saves you, which that's a good deal. Okay, so we're gonna get into the makeup. So Seint Makeup Cream Base 3D Foundation. You wanna try it? Message me. There is a link in the description. Fill out the form, send me your color match picture, and try this makeup. Your palette, it's not gonna look like this. It's gonna look different because everyone's palette is customized to what you want out of your makeup. So what we do is we put this on in a 3D method. Our face is not one-dimensional. Your makeup shouldn't be one-dimensional either. Everything here is foundational coverage. Yes. Bronzer, yep, that's foundation. Contour, that's foundation. Blush, that's foundation. Okay, we're gonna go in. I like using the detail brush, and I like using the blush and bronzer brush. These are the two I started with, so these are the two I recommend other people to start with because it worked so darn well for me. So what I like to do when you're starting out and you have drier skin is try your main highlight first. So when you get your makeup, you're gonna tap into it. Tap in, don't wipe in, you don't want your bristles sticking together. Start at the low part of your jaw. Take a look at it, say, does this match my skin tone? Yes, great, we move on. And we just start stippling this around, tap as you need, and apply your makeup as if you have no flaws. If you have a pimple, ignore it. If you have discoloration, ignore it, and tackle the coverage after you've applied all your colors, because more than likely, because the pigmentation is so high, it's gonna cover everything and you're not gonna need to put on too much makeup. So I always bring this up on the apples of my cheeks to cover my discoloration. I don't need to apply a whole bunch of layers. And I just tap this in, I tap it on, and then I tap it in. And I like using this method because I have maturing skin and I have larger pores, I've got fine lines, and so if you tap it in, it helps camouflage those things. All right, going in some more. We're gonna go down here at the bottom, we're gonna tap at the bottom, and then we're gonna bring it up. Bring it to the nose, bring it down here. We're gonna be adding brightening here, so I don't typically add up in this general area. I like my makeup to be essentially one single layer, just one. So we put this on, and that's the only place I put my foundation. That is it. If you ever find that maybe your makeup isn't blending easily because of the dry skin, which can happen, grab that setting spray and spray the brush, this end, and then apply. I'm telling you, spray the brush, grab your product, and start tapping again. Or spray your face, and while it's wet with setting spray, tap it in, and it moves magically because it's so hydrating. Some people with dry skin really need that extra step of spraying your brush or spraying your face right when you go to blend. Next color I'm gonna go into is my brightening. So it's a couple shades lighter than my main highlight. Always, always keep these two together. Keeping them side by side is key because once you get all these colors in and you separate them, they can very easily look a bit similar when they're far apart, but together, it's like putting black on black. Does your black on black ever fully match the black on black? No, but you don't know it until you put it side by side. Okay, going into the brightening, again, tapping a little bit. I'm gonna go between my brows and then over the tops of them. and I'm going to keep it right in this general area. What I'm doing here is, one, I'm giving myself my foundational coverage. I'm also giving myself a bit of a balance of skin tone that's dimensional. So adding that reflecting light to it. So going up and up, down the middle. I'm going to do my under eyes last. I tend to get a little out of control with my bronzer and my blush, so I like to do my under eyes last to help rein it in so I don't end up with my blush going into my eyes. I've done it before. And the trend seems to be, anyway. Okay, that's it for the brightening, and now we're gonna get into contouring. I always contour with the detail brush. This squared, dense end, so good for contouring. I'm going to be using the color Astoria. It's a cool tone, so good. Tapping, not wiping, and I'm just gonna go with the shape of my face, so I go on the sides, and then I focus it with little circles over on the sides, and then I bring them together and let them blend together. So we're gonna bring these together just like this, and then I put that brightening in, and as these meet, this becomes your foundation color that's probably down here, and they just marry together in a nice way. So this is why our products last as long as they do, because you don't take that main highlight and put it all over your face, turning it one color. You're able to just put it where you need it. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna use my fingers. I always use my fingers on my nose because it's a little bit bumpy, and I wanna let out up here. I wanna bring in my bump here. I wanna let out below the bump and then bring it in at the tip. And it just makes this really nice, straight nose. Anytime I'm doing people's makeup and they have a perfectly straight nose, I get very jealous, but it's also my favorite nose to contour because it's so easy. All right, tapping it in. I always tap my makeup. Again, I have large pores around my nose area. I think I even, yeah. I have larger pores right on the, before the button part. I want to call it the button part. I don't have a button nose, but if I did, that'd be the button. All right, using my finger just to tap up, and then don't forget to blend right here. Just like that. And I have a nice, straight, symmetrical nose. All right, let's go into our cheeks. We're gonna do our cheekbones. We're gonna come, you can go into the hollows, and you can round out your cheek. You can lift your cheeks. It's whatever. Just think, what are you lifting? What are you letting in? What are you letting out? That's all contour is. It's mimicking shadows. It's structuring. When you're using your makeup and you turn your face one color with traditional foundation, this is the color that you use to restructure your face. We're just mimicking that shadow. So I'm gonna go in up here, and I'm gonna put brightening on my brush somehow. We're gonna wipe it off. We're gonna grab some more contour, and we're gonna go boop right there. All right, going in, it happens. Nice thing is it's creams and it's all fixable. I hang mine towards the back. I never bring it in past the outer corner of my eye. Otherwise you can get that ventriloquist doll look. All right, same thing over here. We're gonna just tap onto, thought I had a bug on me. It's just my bracelet. Just gonna tap onto that cheekbone. I always hold middle of the brush for mid pressure, tapping into that cheekbone and bringing it up. And this will give my cheeks lift. I underblend my contour every time because once I get into this bronzer and my blush, it's all gonna blend it down magically together. All right, going into the denser end of the blush and bronzer, I'm gonna go into my bronzer, which right now is Tan Lines. It is our lighter bronzer. I'm gonna go right here, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of warmth with that cool contour that I used. And I just like to give a sun-kissed look on my forehead that's light, nice, light, and natural. I do love Bella bronzer, but lately, Tan Lines has been my jam. So I have that contour, and just above it, I'm gonna add my bronzer and bring it up my temple, and I'm putting it on my cheekbone, almost like a blush. And if you have discoloration on your cheeks, melasma, scarring, Tan Lines is a really great bronzer option because it gives a touch of sun, but it also helps combat your blush from pulling that discoloration through. It's a great camouflager. All right, and again, if anything feels like it's not wanting to blend, especially that contour, spray your brush and then start blending. That's the key. The key with any kind of makeup, less is more, and understanding how your skin is going to work with that product, because one thing I know for sure, You've got to know how you like your face to look. You have to know how you like your makeup to look and how you want to structure your face, and then do it. Once you find where everything goes, it's all a matter of just changing out colors and everything goes in the same spot. Eyeshadows, contours, blushes, find where you like things, and then you can just trade out colors. It's not about changing where they go. Just keep it where it goes and change out the colors. But once you figure out the way your skin works with a product, you're golden. I mean, this is cream. This isn't powder. This isn't liquid. It's cream. So it's going to be an adjustment. Just remember when you first started using makeup, you had to learn how to use makeup. This is going to be a new product. This is a good product. But using this product, you're going to have to give it the time to learn. Real easy. Okay, I'm going to go into my blush. This has been my favorite combo, is these ombres. They're my favorite. So I'm going to go into Sangria, this bright pink, and I'm going to hang it up here at the top. I'm going to go into Saint Tropez, which is completely different. And I'm going to go right down here. And I like my Saint Tropez pretty on there. And when they blend together, it makes this beautiful ombre color. It is so good. I'm going to take that blush and bronzer brush. We're going to tap into Sangria first. Blend it around, bring it down. And look at that. It's this really pretty pink. Go into the fluffy end just to give it a little marrying together with the contour and the bronzer and the blushes. And look, that harsh contour is now not so harsh. And then you could knock it up a notch if you want to. I do like a bold cheek, so I'm just putting it on the fluffy end and I'm just knocking it up a notch. I like a bold cheek. That's, again, do your makeup the way you like your final product to look. Okay, grabbing Sangria, popping this up here, grabbing Saint Tropez, popping that right here. I need a towel. I'm getting it. I always wipe, and I shouldn't, because some of these, I will say, Sangria is a lot like a lip stain if you put it on your lips. I really like this as not just a cheek color, but I also love it as a lip color. So I line my lips with Sangria, and then I fill it in with Saint Tropez, and they just marry. I mean, it's this on this. It's so good. Okay, and that's my blush. We're gonna go in and we're gonna do our under eyes. You can use the small end of the detail brush. We're gonna grab some of that brightening, which is the lighter color. We're gonna see our trough. We don't want to accentuate puffiness. We don't want to create puffiness that isn't there. This is a soft tissue, so it's easily textured. So we're gonna go under that trough. We're gonna tap this up and then over and keep it kind of centralized on the inner corner where you have natural darkness. Then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna come up, and this is gonna give you some lift. And then you're gonna tap on that orbital bone and just bring them together. Tap on the orbital bone. You don't wanna create a lot of pushing and a lot of movement on that soft tissue. You'll inflame it, it'll puff up. So focus on your orbital bone first, and then just slowly come up into those soft tissue areas, just like that. It just, look at that, it makes such a difference. Less is more. You need such a little amount of product. Everybody worries that these small tiles aren't going to last very long. I'm telling you, these will last just as long as your traditional foundations or longer. I can tell you Brightening is going to last longer than your Tarte Shape Tape. I know, for a fact. All right, under that trough, coming up to that corner, in a little bit, and then over here, bringing that up for that eye lift. And then orbital bone. Orbital bone. Having those high points like an orbital bone, a cheekbone, having those high points to focus on first are key, because you don't want to add a lot of movement on that soft tissue, and you don't want to mature it any faster than it already is. Just using this big end just to marry my brightening into my blush. That's how easy this is. Okay, now you don't need a setting powder if you have dry skin. Usually this sets in a really nice, slightly dewy but more matte way when you have dry skin. Grab your setting spray. This is my best advice for dry skin and trying to move your product. Spray it up, let it land on your face, get it good and saturated. You want it to feel wet. Take that fluffy end and tap in. This just marries everything together in a really beautiful, flawless way. We're not swirling, we are tapping, especially if you have maturing skin like me. I'm 41, so I am considered mature on my skin. Anybody over 30 is considered mature skin. And you just wanna be careful. Everybody's skin is gonna age differently based off of genetics and bad eyeliner habits. Who pulled for their eyeliner? I did. And I was always told not to, and now I've had fine lines for a long time, but less is more. There we go. Just going over around that under eye area, and that's gonna set your makeup when you have dry skin. But tapping over when your face feels very moist from spraying, and I'm sorry if that's not your word, I don't mind it. So spray it, take that fluffy brush, or if you have a kabuki brush laying around, and just tap over all of your face when that setting spray is still moist. And that's how you apply Cream Seint Makeup on dry skin. It's very easy. You can get your face done in 5 to 10 minutes. Easily. I talk a lot, so it takes me a little longer. But when I'm not talking to you, lickety split, tell you what. All right, message me. Let's get you on some Seint Makeup. Have a great day.